Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lorcanarama. We're on a new night. Uh, Sabrina, thanks for coming to Tuesday night. How do you feel coming over on Tuesday night? You okay with that? You here now?
I love it. I
Okay.
love being here on the weekday, not the weekend. This feels great.
My wife likes it for sure. It's Sundays. I like Sundays because I know I'm home on Sunday night for the most part. But it got to the point that there were some options out there that well, I had to not have the stream in order to do some things. And now with a more active season between the DLCs, PPG events, and other things, I plan to be more active with some of those things, and that pretty much is going to take my Sunday away from me. So here we are on Tuesdays, folks. Now, it's not the first time we've been on Tuesday, but this is the first time on Tuesday as our new official night. So thanks for joining us. And, I hope some of you folks who we left behind on Sunday find us over here on Tuesday. So, all right. Before we dive into our topics tonight, I wanted to throw out there to everybody that we're going through some changes in our little podcast here for the better. We're experimenting. You can see we're on a new night. But one of the things that we're doing is we're bringing back somebody who's been on here several times. And so I want to welcome back Jake. So Jake is going to join us, not necessarily as a permanent, every week he'll be on the show, but there'll be some times like next week, which Sabrina just informed us before we went on live.
I like to drop bombs at the last minute. I'm sorry.
Keep everyone on guard.
That's right. One of us won't be able to be here. And so mainly that being Sabrina, because right now, until I turn over the technical to somebody else, it's just Sabrina that can be filled in for. But, so Jake will fill in for Sabrina when she can't be here. And then, if we don't have a third guest lined up, then he'll come in and he'll fill that slot for us. We have some stuff we got to finish, like a tier list that hopefully we'll finish before the next set is released. But I don't know how that's going to work out. Best intentions. We got to scale that thing down, right? So, Jake, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
So tonight, I had a little fun with the title of the episode, Tickets, Crickets, and Stickets. Like, what the heck? There's a lot of stuff that happened this last week, and a lot of it happened before Sunday. So if we'd have had a Sunday episode, we'd have covered it all by now. And but anyways, the big news, of course, was the ticket drop for DLC Milwaukee and DLC Bologna. And so I'm going to ask the question first to Sabrina. Sabrina, did you get a ticket?
I did get a ticket to Bologna. I did not get a ticket to Milwaukee.
Okay. And what was your experience like trying to get that ticket?
So Toby had sent our group chat a link to both because they were on two different websites. So I was trying to get them pulled up maybe 5-10 minutes before tickets go on sale, just to make sure I was prepared. The one for Bologna loaded no problem. The one for Milwaukee gave me a 504, a 401, some error code.
Yeah, 402.
And
That's
402,
the one I saw too. Yep.
Yeah.
I actually think it gave me two different ones.
Yeah,
I remember
at first it was 402.
And then it loaded a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was a gateway issue. Yeah, sorry.
Bringing out new errors.
Yeah. It was like, we really broke it, guys. And then Toby came out and I was like, why can't I even get onto this website? Like, does this website not exist until noon? And he was like, oh, you don't know what happened. And I was like, no, I don't. And that was when he was like, oh, they went on early. I got my Bologna ticket really quickly, went on Facebook and saw somebody post the Eventbrite link. So was then trying to get my Milwaukee ticket that way, but was unsuccessful.
How about you, Jake?
I did not get it, but I was in Disney, to be honest. So I had it pulled up, and then
next topic.
I didn't even try. No, I knew I personally, I actually did pull it up just because I wanted to see if I could get it. I have a wedding the weekend before, so I knew that my wife might have been a little upset if I actually tried to do it. but I am 100% trying to get Richmond and Indianapolis, but that's going to go on.
It over with Danielle.
Exactly. So if I got them, yeah, like 100%. But I knew that it was like low key going to be like a mess, so I tried anyway. Might as well.
I'm not sure my wife is going to travel with me if I get to go to Milwaukee, which, by the way, I did not get a ticket for. You know, my experience.
That was the next question.
Yeah, I.
Did you try?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and unload. Why not? So, you know, it's.
I know that I have a follow-up question, but I want to let you tell your story.
Oh
first.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So I work in a secure facility, and by secure I mean no internet access, and so I had meetings that day, and I made it a point to clear everything out and to clear with folks ahead of time. Hey, I really want to go buy some tickets. They're going on sale at 11 o'clock. I need to scoot outside where I can get on my phone and get internet access and you know, get these tickets. And I had everything set up, I thought. And so I get out there at 10:55, and boy, I had already missed it. It appears because everything they opened up for selling early, and you know, I was a little peeved about that. And my friend was able to get one. And then he sent me a link. So I went to their website. I got the same, like 402, couldn't find anything to start off with. My friend sent me an event link, the Eventbrite link. I got there. The only thing that was available was attendee badges. So I bought one. I thought I bought one. And then I refreshed and a competitor badge was available. And I thought I bought that. And here I was not signed into Eventbrite. I forgot about doing that. Now that's on me. But, you know, in the midst of a scramble, you don't have, you know, you're not really thinking, right? And because you know you're fighting everybody else. And when you see that +1 or, you know, for that ticket, you're going to click it and you're going to try and buy it. So I didn't get anything. My biggest gripe with it all, and I'm just going to say this, as a software developer, I understand things happen, you know, and I can't fault them for their site falling or whatever. It's just stuff that they can't control. Maybe they should have known about it better. They probably could have done some better testing before that. I give them kudos for trying to pivot, you know, because they did a quick switch to Eventbrite. That was, I mean, they you could tell they had a plan B, right? And so they swapped the plan B. What I have a problem with, and this was a decision that somebody somewhere made, was that the tickets went on sale early. That, even if somebody accidentally clicks something, that's a no-no, man. You gotta have safeguards for that stuff, you know. And then the pivot to Eventbrite, while they were quick on it, it left folks who weren't really, you know, had no clue what was going on with this process. It might have been their first attempt or whatever. They had no chance. Those folks like me, we had no chance.
The pivot was also not well communicated.
I was about to say, it feels like if you weren't directly informed, then you weren't able to like really know what was going on.
Because it was only like, what was it? It was posted in their Discord, but not their socials.
Yeah. So unless maybe you had like notifications on.
Right. Yeah. And you had to have been in the Pastimes Discord.
Oh, wow. So both.
Right. Which, like, yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of concerns.
Spit them out.
A lot of people do.
This is the ticket. This is the ticket section.
My first concern is like, how did they go live an hour early?
That's crazy. And
why was it not? Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, they went on sale early, and then people bought them, and then they were like debating whether or not to honor those tickets or to say, oh, you bought them early, they don't count, or you bought them early, you were on top of it and you get to be first at it, you know. Like, I'm not sure where they landed on that, but
well, they get to keep them, and I think they're in a no-win situation there. I'll admit that you're in a no-win situation, because do you fault the people?
No, like, and that's where I was at too, but it's so
unfortunate.
It stinks. Yeah, it stinks because someone who is unavailable, like Kelsey, who is just able to get there maybe 5 to 10 minutes before just to prep for that one moment when everyone knows for the past X amount of weeks, whatever. It stinks for those people for sure.
Yeah, that to me is. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I say that to me was the part that frustrated me the most was like, I was prepared at the time they
Mhm.
told me to be prepared at the place they told me to be prepared at. I won't fault them for it going down at all. I mean, I get that. I've dealt with enough software and deployment issues to know that even when you test something
Things
adequately,
happen.
it can still
Mhm.
fail in a live
Sure.
environment. I get that. Won't fault them for that at all. I'll fault them for going live early, and I'll fault them for pivoting. Even though they had a plan B, they should have just nixed it right there and said,
That
let's
is
try
my
this
biggest
again.
thing.
I
Let's try
also
it again.
agree. Yeah.
That's it.
Tomorrow, or hey, let's all
Yeah.
recoup, and then
All
we'll
like
all be on the
Right.
same
timeout.
page.
Right.
And people would have
Timeout,
griped or
pause.
moaned
This
about
didn't
it.
go well.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
folks would have
And they
griped or
know that
moaned
it's
about it,
yeah.
but they would have been back. They'd have been back the
Mhm.
next day to do it. So, or
Absolutely.
But
whenever.
but it didn't even that's my thing. It should have been a, hey, there was a mistake made. We recognize that. We're going to take the time to evaluate how this happened, how it can be prevented in the future, what we need to do to remedy what already happened, and then how we want to proceed. And in order to do that, we need to take X amount of time, whether that was 24 hours or a whole week. Honestly, I think they could have taken a week and it would have been okay.
People would have
Yeah,
given them that week
I
easily
think so too. Yeah.
if they were just upfront about it.
But
Well,
now we're waiting up in the air because there's supposedly 300 tickets left.
They said that they were
Yeah.
they were adding additional competitor and attendee badges.
Supposedly there's 300 competitor tickets left, and they're going to very clearly communicate how to purchase them.
in well advanced time.
Yeah.
Well, they did that this time too. They did
Well, that's where I
communicate
think a lot
clearly
of
and gave us enough time.
yeah, that's where
I can't
people are
fault
like,
them for
well, do
that.
we even trust them at this point? I don't know.
Well, you have no choice
And
but
that
to.
goes to the overarching
And we
issue.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Trust is a funny thing, right? When there's, when you don't have control of something, is it really trust when you don't have control of it? I mean, trust is having
Just
a
kinda
little bit of control and then letting go of
yeah.
that and allowing
Mhm.
something to take place. But when you have no control, there's no trust there. You're just along for the ride and hoping for the best. So, that's the way
Hoping
that
for the
works.
best, but expecting the worst.
Right. Yeah. Expectations. There you go. You got it, Sabrina. Expectations.
I
So,
think what bothers me evaluating it like as a whole is we swapped from PPG, who is now running the best events in the business.
they got
Dick
good
Burns
scorekeeping.
has gone on record as saying it was like the best TCG event he's ever been to. Sorry if I misquoted you, Dick, but you did say something about how great of an event it was. And he's been to plenty of TCG events to be able to recognize a good one versus not a good one. So we have PPG, who got put through the ringer doing the first set of DLCs. They ran into their challenges, but Kelsey, from Atlanta to the last one, there were significant changes and progress made.
Yeah.
Things got a lot better.
Well, I look at it too, PPG, like they paved the way. So anybody who comes afterwards, they really build on the lessons learned from PPG. And
But it feels like they didn't at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, PPG had some problems, with Eventbrite the first time tickets went for sale too.
Which is
they
why I
learned from it.
question the pivot to Eventbrite.
Yeah. Yeah, that was where they pivoted too, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not there with them with their software and what's going on with their decisions. And I understand they probably wanted to control as much of the ticketing as they could, because when you pull in like a third party like Eventbrite, now there's you got to get up off of money for that, for them to do their thing and stuff. So I understand why or what their motives probably were. But I would think you would have done an assessment ahead of time to find out whether or not you could have pulled that off. There are ways to test software where you can, do some stress testing on it to find out whether or not it's going to, withstand the onslaught that's about to be unloaded on it when you go live. There are ways to do that. And I would think that those things uncovered it. I don't know. It's on them. We are where we are, But let me move on to the crickets part of everything. So, as you know, like for the longest time, Ravensburger has just, they had this period of silence, no information, nothing, crickets, right? Whenever we wanted information, it was like crickets. And I am going to at least commend, not Ravensburger in this case, but Pastime for the prompt apology and acknowledgement that they gave out, because if it had been Ravensburger, I don't think we would have got it. In fact, Ravensburger didn't even apologize. They posted Pastime's apology on the Lorecast. The same wording that came out earlier. And so, it's an unfortunate situation. They acknowledged it. They said they'll work on it. That's really all you can do. And if you want to pile on them, then pile on them, but number one, don't make it personal, people. There's a lot of that going around. There's really no room for that. That's not what we want in this community. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So there was other news this week, though. There was other things that came out. They did open up staff applications for DLC Milwaukee, to which I applied.
Did you apply? Okay.
Of course, I did. I imagine I applied with about 1,000 other people. So I don't know, their vetting process. I'm not a known, I don't know anybody at Pastimes like some other folks do. So I don't know how that's going to work. So we'll see. That's my only way there. Is if I get on his staff at this point. I doubt I'll get a ticket.
Well, there's 300 tickets left, Kelsey. Never say never.
I mean, I'll give it a shot, but 300 tickets and about 5,000 people who could try to get them. So, and me in a secure facility.
Typing.
I got to take the day off is what I got to do.
So. Well, yeah, you have to take the full day off because they could drop a couple hours early.
Exactly right. Touche. So yeah, in regards to Pastimes, I have no qualms. I have no fight with them. I think they handled it about as well as it could be handled. I am not going to knock them. I have no reason to. I wish Ravensburger and the Lorecast would have done more to say, yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll work to fix this, which I know they don't have much information to give, but you would have thought that they had a whole day to come up with something, before that Lorecast. And I don't know. That's where my faith is lacking, is in them right now. To be honest.
Well, their communication has continually, they have overpromised and underdelivered when it comes to communication. They keep promising transparency and quick responses, and they're not going to hide and run from things, but we don't actually get that.
Yeah. I sometimes I feel like they're more interested in being their own content creators than they are delivering news and information about their product. In other words, you look at the Lorecast and they're having fun and stuff, and I can't knock them for having fun. I have fun when I do it. It's a fun thing to do, but yeah, I think that it's one of those things where you have to understand the way the community looks at you is you're first and foremost there to tell us some good news or some news, and
the game and what they're doing for it.
Right. And it's all too often we don't get that. And, there are a lot of people that join the Lorecast. You can see them in the chat. They're excited. I often get more information out the chat than I do from the content on the show. And this is not a complaint. This is just an assessment of how I view it. And I'm not the only one who looks at it like that. And it's me saying it so they hear it, so that hopefully they change it. I don't know that they will. But I hope they do. And I probably just shot us in the foot for ever being able to do a reveal. So, but sorry, Sabrina, the dream shattered.
I don't think you did. I think
it's constructive criticism.
I hope they take it that way.
Jake, you know me in real life more than Kelsey does.
Hmm.
I am what you would call a straight shooter. No,
Absolutely.
to me,
Telling you the
you can't.
truth.
Yeah, you cannot build any type of relationship, whether that's working, platonic, familial, romantic, any kind of relationship, without true, honest communication. And that's not always positive. Sometimes you do things wrong. Sometimes things don't come across the way that you want them to. And I think that if Ravensburger wants to be community oriented, they also need to take feedback from the community. And whether that is just players, whether that's content creators, whether that's competitive players or casual players, whatever it is, you have to be open to that feedback.
I hope
And
they would Go ahead,
yeah,
Sabrina.
I mean, no, I think that their communication, they communicate about their communication more than they actually work on communication.
Yeah,
They
I hear you.
they're gonna do it more than they're actually doing it.
Yeah.
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 And for a while it had like gotten a little better. There was a couple like I forget what happened, like something got released by accident a couple months ago or something like that, and they very quickly had like a
I think it was
oops, this wasn't supposed to come
Some
out, but just so
spoilers.
you guys
was
yeah,
it
yeah,
the
that
Spoilers.
it
Yep.
was the world's information when it got leaked,
oh
when the dates got leaked.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, this wasn't supposed to come out, but we don't want you guys to spend all your money. This is competitors only." And I had faith that like this was the step forward in their communication.
Yeah.
And this feels like a little bit of a step back.
I feel like they're more reactive in their communication than proactive. Like this, it's like we want you to be telling us what's happening rather than reacting to somebody revealing something, somebody messing something up, or something going wrong somewhere, or public outcry. Everything seems to be in response to those, and not like take charge of this, people. This is your
Own it.
animal. This is your baby. Act like you own it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in a minute. So
you're so right.
I hope they understand by now. And if anybody who's listened to this podcast regularly will understand, I am very passionate about this game for personal reasons and not for any aspirations of my own to be anything or to do anything other than to enjoy it with my daughter when she's old enough to enjoy a DLC. I want the community to have people like Sabrina and you, Jake, and my friends here, and some of the great content creators like Liam and Aaron, from the Lumineers, and Dan. Those people who I would love for my daughter to just see on the screen and to meet, and because they're nice people, right? And that's, to me, everything that I do is to continue to foster that. And so if I unload on anybody, it's out of passion. Sometimes spurred on by anger, sometimes spurred on by concern, sometimes by love of the game. It's all just intertwined, So soapbox. I'm done. I'm gonna take a drink. Hold on, y'all go ahead.
You second that though, because this is my first main TCG that I've been playing competitively, and I love it more than anything. And I've met more people and the best community that I could literally have ever imagined. And I've only ever seen this one community, and I know that it's so good and solid.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, honestly.
No, I think like this is the first game that I've played competitively. I've played other games casually. I've, F&M or things like that.
Yeah.
This is the
Like some
first event. And,
Commander.
yeah, and Atlanta was truly the like testing point for me. Like I remember looking at Toby going into it and being like, this is going to decide, like, am I trying to be competitive or am I okay just playing at locals and that's it? And like since then I have, obviously a lot's happened in the last year, but I have tried very hard to be, become more competitive, play better decks, make better choices, practice more, things like that. But Jake, to what you said, like this is the best community that I've ever the people, especially in our little South Jersey community, are just, we have a great group down here.
Really
Kelsey,
do.
you
Hey,
got to come to Jersey. You got to come assimilate with our
I
crew.
want to. I want to. Hey, somebody in chat said I'm very optimistic about the future. First of all, thank you for dropping the comment in chat. I forgot to tell folks in chat to tell us what you're thinking. Thanks for taking it on yourself there, White Spice. So I appreciate it. So yeah. Yeah, I'd love to get up there to New Jersey. I tell you this. I tell you now, I won't say it on air. All right, when we get off air, I'll tell you. So,
Okay.
just remind me. Just say New Jersey, right? All right. So
Okay.
so yeah. No, yeah, I would love to come up there. That's why I was hoping for some type of DLC up around that area. You know, Boston's on my bucket list in the Northeast, and you know, I actually will be up there in August for work-related stuff, so that's kind of cool to be there. But I was hoping that I would get a chance to go somewhere around Philadelphia or New Jersey at some point, and you know, whether a work trip or whatever, and then on my nights when I'm not working, find some Lorcana community to go and play in. And in fact, I'm going to try and do that when I go to Boston. So if you're listening to me from Boston and you got somewhere you think I could show up, I'll be there the week of August 4th through 8th. Just shoot me a message and I will be happy to show up there. But anyways, yeah, I like, one thing I do like, and this goes on to, you know, the crickets part again. They did give out some information within the last couple of weeks of their intentions to do like those in between, you know, support those in between layers of games. You know what we have talked about on this show since the beginning, right? We said this is what they need to do. And I'm not saying they listened to us, but they did what we said. So, you know, and
I'm
that's
not saying they didn't listen to us.
That's right. So, you know, it's, they're providing support for that layer. And I've said it from the beginning, like we as a community got to own some of this, right? Ravensburger made the game. They're supporting the game, albeit in ways that some of us, some folks don't like, some folks do like. But I tell you what, nobody will complain about the promos, right? So that's why everybody loves the DLCs, is for those promos and everything that goes on. I don't think there's a problem with the DLCs other than there's not enough of them. And that's, I can understand that, right? If you got something good and people are asking for more, you want to hear that as a company. You don't want them to hear it's too many, you know? And so that, you know, so I can see that from a marketing standpoint, from a company standpoint. You know, they always say you always leave them hanging for more, right? You know, when you're a comedian, you never tell all your best jokes. It's leave some for the encore, you know, or whatever. But, you know, I think that the Charlie CCs and the pastimes and PPG events, I'm glad to hear that they may be getting support for those in between layers, so that folks who can't make DLCs, you know, can make these events. So. Do you guys have any of those that you're looking at in the near future or in your area or nearby? Or
I know our whole group talks about going to a Charlie Collectibles. Like we there's a lot of talk about trying to get like a caravan of us. But
if y'all go,
that's in Florida?
No, it's in Atlanta.
Atlanta, okay.
Yep. If y'all go, if you get a group to go, let me know. I will come up and meet y'all, because I'm only 5.5 hours from there. So I will
go.
I will make it. My wife will make a trip out of it. We, you know, there's plenty of us. We love Atlanta. It's a great city.
Atlanta's great.
Yeah, we have lots to do. There's lots to do for my kid in Atlanta. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a conversation every tournament we're at, you know, about wanting to go to one of those. So, I think
they have a lot of them.
Yeah,
they have a decent amount. So
yeah, I think they do one for every set that comes out. Yeah, so
there's a
you look at one every 3 months.
There's a store in the Northeast, I don't want to name drop, that runs larger events than a lot of our local stores do. I left the last event that we were at with a very sour taste in my mouth. So I would be more than willing to travel to go to something, you know, of similar or larger size to see what other stores are out there.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, we're trying to go ahead, Jake.
No, yeah, that event that we went to, it wasn't the worst, but it was bigger than what we're used to, and I think that we need something similar to that, just more often and more around. I think it was a 5K, so just being able to have the support and the stores that can run that, I
Yeah,
think
you're hard
that
pressed to find them that can fit that.
yeah. So like we had to
Yeah.
travel a little bit, but it wasn't the biggest deal. But sometimes if you do like get a sour taste or something like that, you don't necessarily want to go, or a lot of this specific section goes there. You want to broaden your horizons and see what else is out there, but there's not as many of those bigger locations like a Charlie's
Yeah.
Collectible. So at least in the northeast area that we're in.
Think outside the box. So it's
Yeah.
like we've toyed with that, and you heard this. We've talked about this before on the show. We're down here. We're trying to get together all of our stores because we got like 5 people here and 6 here and 3 here and 4 here, and we're talking like the quality of players that like Jordan, who just who won the 10K, and his group over in New Orleans can come over this way, and we've talked about him coming over if we get the event going. We've got several folks. We got a couple folks who've been in the top 32 at DLCs in our region here.
Told you
We
I'd
got a
come
couple
down.
judges, yeah. And so it's just that what I have found is this. You got to get people to believe. It's like, they're like, you can't put on an event like that down here. What store is going to hold it? Well, you got to think outside the box. Like we're looking at, one person suggested, hey, my church will let you come and do it. Now some
That's
folks
a
might be
thing at
like,
our one local,
I'm
actually.
not going to. Yeah, some folks
Really?
might be like, I'm not going to go to a church. If you want to play Lorcana bad enough, you will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Our
It's
But,
about space. You have
um,
the space for that. That's
right.
huge.
Yeah.
one of the stores that we have supported as much as we can, not just with Lorcana, but with other TCGs, the comic book store in Glassboro, they are a great store. They are a very, very small store. So when they have done, I don't think they've done it yet for Lorcana, but specifically, I think a couple Magic events, maybe Pokemon events, there's a church around the corner that they will utilize one of their like rec rooms for.
Hmm.
So
That's
that they
cool.
can expand how many players they can hold,
Yeah.
because they as a store, I think, can hold like less than 30 players for an event.
So what I have found, and I think we have to understand as players, and there are some people who are players and store owners. Store owners have to look out for their store, right? It's a business. If they don't look out for the business folds, and then nobody has anywhere to play, right? So they have to guard certain things. And being a former LGS, I understand this. LGS owner, I understand this. But we as players, and I'm a player now, not a store owner, have to be willing to say, you know what, I'll take this on. If the store doesn't want to organize it or can't, for whatever reason, then we as players can take it on, and we can reach out to folks around us and say, hey, what if we all go to the mall or to the library or whatever? Now, I found that with the more competitive players, it's all about the prizing.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, they want to play Lorcana, but they want to make it worth their while, right? So that's where I think you can't really eschew the stores. You got to kind of get them involved, because it's like, hey, look, we'll put on this event. You want to help sponsor it, somehow, and just to get your name out there, and maybe donate some prizing or something like that, or get somebody like Craig from Matified, give out a mat, or whatever. So that's the problem that I have run into. Is while I have interest, they're like, what's the pricing? And I was like, well, I'm working on that, because I am. It's not like I'm trying to hide something. I'm trying to see what I can put out there. And I find that that's the biggest problem. So, but
Yeah, I
I
think
wish it wasn't.
prizing's a thing at a lot of events. I mean, even, let's be honest, set champs.
Even
Yeah.
taking away that one mat.
That's
Cause an
Right.
huge.
uproar.
I played
Yeah.
3 extra rounds in top 8 the other day
For
for
nothing, basically.
$20 extra in store credit, which
Yep.
is great. I'm thankful for the store for having additional prizing. I'm thankful for the store for holding it. We love Trotta's. They're a great store. But from the what Ravensburger is distributing for these events standpoint, man, would I have liked to walk away with that mat still.
Yeah.
Even if it, yeah, I just like I love the ability to have both mats, I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. I don't understand as the game is growing and becoming more popular, you're like taking prizing away.
Away. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if even if it wasn't something that they were trying to go down that path, just the thought of taking stuff away just felt bad.
I know, but
And
they added something too. Like,
they did add the promo that everyone gets, which is
well, they also
actu-
up the promos too, right? Because it used to be only the top 4 we get the promo,
oh yeah, true.
and
Top
then
eight
they
now gets
extended
it.
it to
Yeah.
top 8. So
Mhm.
not devalued the promo, but they got more.
It did devalue the promo. Yeah,
But they were
I agree.
Yeah,
devaluing
did you
those
guys
already
see
with their choices for promos.
did you
I
guys
In all
see what
think
the
just
fairness,
Scar promo was worth?
choosing the promo. No, I did not see.
what was that?
$22.
What? That's how
Sounds
much
about
the
right.
promo's going for?
The Scar promo from last set champs.
Oh, the
Oh,
Scar one. What
oh
about the
yeah.
Jafar now, though?
I don't know. I just saw somebody posting about the Scar one. I can
Oh,
look up the Jafar one.
It'll be
I
22 in
think
about 2 months.
I think only because that is extremely unplayable, and yes, their choice of card is not the greatest. But I feel like Jafar has some like a chance next set, or even just pass rotation to
You
do
hope it
something.
will.
That's what I
I
think.
don't
Yeah.
think it. Yeah, I don't think it will.
No,
I don't think they're going to do any more illusions. I think that was for these 2 sets,
that
and they're
was just
done.
it, and they're like, yeah, I think we're done with
They're on to
that.
something else.
Jafar High Sultan, right?
Yeah. I
I
guess.
think I
Actually, I
see them
might.
being
No.
sold for about $40 is what I see them being sold for on eBay. Because a part of me is contemplating. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to go to a set champ. There you go.
Mhm.
And so the one that I'll go to if I go will be this Saturday, and it's an hour and a half away. And like I have to geez, the gas that I got to
It's
burn to
going for
get
like
there.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
No,
yeah,
and
and the
that's where I'm
time I give
thinking
up.
about it now too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to like grind for them is tougher and tougher. They're like upping
Uh, God
everything. I don't
forbid
know.
they ever do an Elsa promo, because I'll be oh gosh.
Be going for that.
You'll see me on this podcast like bigger bags under my eyes and hair all disheveled.
I'm
And
actually surprised they haven't done an Elsa or any Frozen one yet.
Well, they're saving that for the big event, which the next one.
I
So.
agree, White Splice. Maleficent Dragon will drive participation. I
it's
agree.
Oh,
actually, I was actually just
I'm
yeah,
already
just
I'm already
hmm
on that. I've already told everybody. I told my wife. I said, by the way, the next set that comes out in September, whenever they do the set champs in November, I got to go to at least 4 of them. So
Yep.
'cause I want my play set. So everybody's like,
I'm
well,
a
you never
big
play more than 4. Not yet. You don't. You did at one
oh
point. You did at one point. So,
I'm a big Phantasmic fan, so
when
Maleficent
that
Dragon
card is
is
reprinted and
big.
no other removal is reprinted and made, then guess
Hmm.
what card will be back in some decks pretty soon.
True.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
All right, so let's go to the next section, and that's the stick it part of it. So in the midst of everything that happened last week with the ticket fiasco, and a lot of people said a lot of stuff and a lot of mean stuff, unwarranted to people. A lot of folks were upset, understandable being upset. I always tell my kids it's not wrong to get angry. It's just wrong what you do with that anger, and so, some people tend to lash out with that anger, whatever. Some people, in the midst of that lashing out, made it personal, and there's no room for that. There were some other folks that I saw several posts on social media, folks saying, I'm done with this game. Basically telling Lorcana to stick it. I'm done. I'm selling my stuff. And I don't know if I'm sad to hear that or not, especially when they followed up with there's another game coming out in October. We can all go to that. So my response to that is, and I'm just going to say it, they can stick it. And I know I'm supposed to be an ambassador. I'm supposed to be nice, but you're not the kind of people I want hanging around my daughter, at these DLCs, to be honest with you. If that's what you're in it for, then just scoot. We'll fill in the blanks with somebody else. So, It's just, yeah, it might be harsh, but I'm not saying it's, if you want to get out the game, that's fine. No problem with that. Just don't broadcast it in some sort of way to get back at people
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's just like,
I think
let's go.
like, if this game is not supporting if this game is not offering what you want out of a TCG, and because of that you don't wish to play anymore and you would rather play a game that offers what you're looking for, I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either.
Right?
Just
Like
scoot.
we all deserve to spend our hard-earned money where we want to. But there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it respectfully, especially like if you want to air your
Yeah.
grievances, and which I've never understood. I've never understood the need to announce that you're leaving something. Like people do that in Facebook groups all the time. They feel the need to announce their departure. This isn't an airport. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. But like,
Sorry.
if you are just airing like, hey, this is my frustration. Because of that, I'm leaving and I think this trend will continue. That's one thing. But when you start personally attacking people in your departure speech, now we have another issue and you're somebody that we don't want in the community.
Yeah.
You're not helping the community.
Yeah.
Not constructive whatsoever.
Right, exactly. There's a way to provide criticism in a constructive manner.
Yeah, especially when a lot of the people are also angry in the community as well, and then they see
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's definitely not a good look. It
What
probably
We're all
doesn't.
feeling it.
Yeah.
What cracks me up are the people who make that post to say, I'm selling my stuff, I'm out. And then they hang around to see what everybody's saying. If you're out, just go. Don't hang
Absolutely.
around.
I see
Don't
that
let
on.
the door hit you.
Yeah.
I see that
They're
all
like,
the time.
They're responding to comments, and justifying why they're leaving.
Talking
they
about it
weren't out.
still.
They weren't out. If they were out, they would have been gone. Yeah, no, they were just. So I'm just like, just go. It's scoot.
Yeah, they post that, and then once the spoilers drops for next set, they'll be check their account. They'll be posting about it.
I dare say if they had their mind made up that they probably already had their mind made up they were going to that game anyways or whatever, and I have no desire to play another game right now because I got out of that. This game actually brought me back, because I want to play with my daughter, like I said, and and so I'm here. I'm in it for the long haul. I feel like Dan Arnold, and hey, I name dropped him. All right, so like he talks about it, like I'm in it till the end until it goes away, and I'm right there with him. It's like this game brought me back to playing. It brought me back into being involved in a competitive circuit, albeit not as a competitor. It got me back involved in a gaming community again, and it was this game that did it, and this community that did it. I've been to other communities; they didn't bring me back. In fact, they pushed me away. And so it's like, yeah, I'm here, and that's why I'm gonna fight for it. And so I tell you folks, it was great having you. Just go.
Sayonara.
See ya.
Yeah. I
See
wish
ya.
you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Yep. Yeah, and hopefully you won't destroy the other game. So
I think there's
Hopefully
also
not.
like an element of self-reflection when it comes to stuff like that. Like you want to talk about communities and things like that. You have to, and this is a lesson that I've also learned in my personal life in the last year, which is probably why it's like so important to me. But you are part of the community. What you put forth in your community matters. What you allow from others in your community matters. The voices that you choose to boost versus the voices you choose to silence matter. And that's
Amen,
the
sister.
case in this
Preach it.
community. And yeah, it's just, so if this is not a community that you want to be part of, that's fine. Odds are we don't want you part of it
We don't
either.
want you either.
Yeah.
But some self-reflection into why you don't like this community and what kind of community you want to foster, I think will go a long way for a lot of people.
And I don't want this to be a matter of bashing folks ourselves. I got to be careful with that with me. I just don't have time for it. I understand frustration, but like Sabrina said earlier, it just have some respect for the game and just go. You don't have to make a spectacle of it. There are other people who are hanging on. who want to do something, who have some hope in this. And, what do you want to destroy other people's hope on the way out the door just because you're sour? You want to make everybody else sour too? I have no place for that, and don't really need that. This world beats us up enough. I just don't need other people doing it with something that's supposed to be fun for me. And so there's not much fun in this world, right? So, but we when we find something that is, we try to grab hold of it and make the best of it, and I don't need somebody else tearing it down. Just go. Not fun for you, go. So
I think a lot of the it's comparison for a lot of the people as well too. They're comparing it to other games they've played or other things that are happening in other games or other people, and I just think that's the killer of the happiness. Because
comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, you're expecting something out of something that's not that. And I think a lot of, especially me who has had no experience whatsoever, I'm just patient. I'm just waiting for them to maybe figure it out. And as long as the community's there, as long as we're going to keep doing what we're doing, I don't think I'm busting out of here to leave or anything like that. So I just think, not that we're bashing anyone, but it's just I'm confused, and I understand, I guess, where they're coming from. They're putting their money into this. They want to see something out of it from a competitive aspect, and I want to play competitively too. But I just think that I'm gonna go to what they have, and I'm not that my word doesn't matter, but I'm not gonna spawn another DLC out of my words. So I just feel like we're gonna have to do what we can do right now, and hopefully, really, really hope that they're just gonna listen to us and give us more, give us what we want.
Way, right? When you are negative, then I can tell you as somebody who's in a position to listen to feedback with what I do at work. When you come at me negative, I'm gonna listen to you, but when you walk away, I'm just gonna write it off probably and go. But when you come to me in a positive manner, I'm more apt to listen to you. And while I'm listening to you, turning around and turning what you're saying around in my head while you're talking to me and thinking it through. And I'm going to be more apt to listen and to hear those things and, and do something about it. And so I think likewise, we said this at the beginning, and we all know this, the concept of constructive criticism. There's a way you present yourself that if you want to be heard, just be mindful, do it in a professional, clean, constructive way. Now there is a way to go overboard with that. There's a way that you do it where it's pretty obvious that you're, I'm just going to say it, kissing Heine. You should know why you do it. Just be mindful of, people can see through that, right? And it's just you just put aside your emotion, just offer it as constructive, criticism, and just go on, So that's your only hope. You're not in a position to change anybody's mind, really. But anyways, we beat that up enough tonight. So.
That horse is officially dead.
It is. It is. And I it was said last week that Ravensburger needed some good news, right? Let's hope that this week brings that. So set champs this week. You guys played in any?
I played in one.
All right, who's first? Whoever finished the highest can go first.
Okay.
I finished. I lost in the finals. Okay. Yeah, I lost in the finals on Saturday and then lost in top 8 on Sunday. I played Amber Steel aggro both days.
And you didn't 0-2 quit?
I did not. I 0-1 made it to the top 8.
Nice.
Both days. It was a shock. Honestly, the biggest thing for me this weekend was a personal learning lesson that you can lose round 1 and still do well.
Absolutely.
Because
you go up the easy side of the bracket.
Absolutely.
Yes, but I mentally check out after round 1 a lot. I get frustrated, or I think
you gotta play your games.
Really sloppy round 1 sometimes, and then I just spiral. So this was a really good learning experience for me that you can lose and still make top 8. We don't have to sweat it.
No, yeah,
You still do
100%.
well.
When I won
But
my
yeah.
set championship
Hey,
2
Sam.
sets ago. Hey Sam. When I won my set championship 2 sets ago or whatever, I lost the first game in every match I played, and a lot of them on the play, and so it was like, you know what, that's all right, we'll be all right, we'll go. And so, it was, I have learned over the years that, usually if that happens, your opponent gets overconfident and they start making mistakes,
Yes.
believe it or not. And so I kind of just tighten up the way I play, and and yeah, but I think that's just me and age. I don't care anymore.
Sam
So,
says that I, quote, beat her butt in top 8 on Saturday.
oh, you
I
beat
didn't
her
even
butt?
see that game go on, honestly.
Okay, we don't need to pile on Sam. It was a
No,
rough
no,
game
I
for
just
her.
I don't know where it was. I didn't see that one.
So Jake, how did yours go?
Yeah, you were
I
playing, dude.
exactly, that's right. I was top seed. I was undefeated into the top 8, and then I won my top 8 game, and then I lost in my top 4, so I was third.
Ooh.
He lost
But
Yeah.
I
to the
You
guy
I
may
that
have
lost
been
to the
playing Amber
guy that
Steel.
won, though.
You must have been playing Amber Steel.
I was playing
He
Ember
was.
Steel aggro.
Amber Steel is the only deck combination that can be top seed and just lose.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of how it
But
goes. Yeah.
Kelsey, what deck do you think won this day?
there's no telling with this set. I'm gonna go with Blurple
That would
or
be a
Green
good guess,
Purple.
but no. It was red purple with like all of the Madame Medusa variants in it. And Bell, the move damage Bell.
Oh yeah,
It was
I got you.
It
pretty
was
tech
literally
against like an aggro
yeah.
Amber Steel, I feel, because with that
Against
Madame
our deck.
Medusa, that Madame Medusa kind of messed me up, I feel. It was able to bounce one of my Calhouns, and then
Somebody send me that deck list. I've been trying to work on that on Lorcanito, and I keep getting distracted by going back to my other deck. But yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be kind of
it
cool.
was
I'll see
good.
if I can get it for you.
I feel like if I would say I was top seed, so I went to go first, but if I went first and was able to just go fast enough, I feel like I would have been able to get there. But
It was
with my
hard to
current,
go fast enough
with
against
my
you.
and in my list too, I feel it's harder. So I want to tech it to try to do something different for the next couple that I go to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I set my
I have
green
2 more
purple
I'm going
deck
to
up.
though.
I set my
I'm
green
sorry, what'd
purple
you say,
deck
Kelsey?
up to survive the onslaught. Survive the onslaught of Amber Steel and
Mm-hmm.
Chernadog and Amber Purple, and once I survive that onslaught, it's it's on from there. So so I've learned to like Lyle a lot.
Lyle's a great card.
True, that's
So,
good. That
so,
and
so, I was going to ask another question. I forgot what it was. I don't have a card again this week, so I got to work on that.
You are slacking.
I
Well,
liked those. That was really fun, actually. It
yeah,
tested my
it's coming
knowledge.
back. Like there's just so much going on that
Oh,
just the
that's
fact
fair.
that I could sit down and do the podcast in and of itself is a miracle lately.
No, we're in the thick of it over here, both of us.
Yeah. So, it's I will say that Sabrina and I have been floating around ideas for things, segments for the shows. I have a long list of folks who have expressed interest coming on, but it's been a failure on my part to really reach out, mainly because, and I would say failure, it's just that I have so much going on at home and in life that I tend to not think about it. And the next thing I know, the podcast is in a day, and it's not fair to reach out to anybody,
Yeah.
and on that shorter notice.
Jake.
So that's why
Good
Jake
Me,
is
I'm
here.
always here.
Good old reliable Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Kelsey, I think you and I have both had a very heavy year, past
yeah,
12 calendar months, and I
yeah,
think we owe ourselves some grace.
yeah, yep. We're still here. So
Still here.
we're 17 episodes. That's
Wow.
that's not something small.
Hmm.
We've been here
Never
17
thought you'd
episodes.
get. I mean, I remember you telling me you weren't sure if you would get to 10.
Yeah.
But like that was your goal.
Yeah. We made it. So now my goal is 20. And then 25
Now
we'll
look
have
at
a
us. We got a
celebration.
logo.
I know, right? I have looked at that logo several times during this, and like, yes, we've improved something, and that's why I always keep that pilot episode up on YouTube too, and as a reminder to me, like that first episode was technically not the best because like I had muted my broadcast partner Panda for like 15 minutes.
Oh my
And-
god.
and my microphone was horrible,
Oh.
and I did go
But
out
you
and get
did
a
it.
new
You kept
mic,
going.
What's that?
But you did it. You did the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, we're here.
And that's what
We're
counts.
here. And we're going to keep
You
on
did it?
keeping on. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
Keep
it.
on keeping on.
Yeah, as I said when we first started, it's just I enjoy it. It's a good outlet for me. It helps me keep in touch with the game and with the community. Some folks keep in touch back in chat, which I appreciate. And by the way, if you're not following us, please do so and go over to YouTube and look us up on YouTube, Lorcanarama. Follow us there. We're getting social media. We're almost there with social media. As soon as I figure out how to share a link on our Facebook page, I'll be all right. So, I have a problem with that for some reason.
I've been posting on the Facebook page when we go live. So if anybody wants to find that Facebook page, it is Lorcanarama, no exclamation point, because Facebook doesn't allow punctuation in their groups. I don't know why. But that's a rant for another day. So it's just Lorcanarama with the same logo. You guys can go ahead and give that a follow.
Yep, we'll get there. Yeah. So I have some other things too, but I'll share that with folks offline first, and then we'll come back and share it online next week. So
For sure.
So we'll be back here again next week at 7:00 Central, 8:00 Eastern. This is our new night, our new time. And I appreciate everybody who came by and stayed in with us for the chat. Thank you, Jake, for coming and participating.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Jake will be back here next week. Sabrina will
I will
not.
be here.
She shall
No.
be enjoying a concert. I hope you have fun, and hopefully you're with the person that you're supposed to be with, and
we will.
don't get caught on the jumbotron with somebody else. So.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
Okay.
That's solid.
All right. Well, we'll close on that note, high note. Everybody have a good week, and let's all cross our fingers for some good news from Ravensburger this week. By the way, they did announce, and I forgot, that they are working with Gen Con. They are co-supporters with supporting Gen Con. So Ravensburger is a big sponsor. So if you can't get to Gen Con in Indy, like me, find a friend who might get some promos for you. If not, you could pay $200 for them like everybody else when you get back. So, all right, everybody, have a good week.